some random links where you can buy the things. This is what I do, and it saves me a lot of time. List something on VINTED and it has like 0 views. So it's 2026 and VINTED has come a long way. A lot has changed over the years, and after watching this video, you'll know where and how to start with your reselling journey. I'm just a normal guy who goes to school and has a job. This is just my side hustle. Even in my best month, I didn't make more than $500. Probably if I gave it more effort or found better items for reselling, I could make more money, but I am just focusing on being consistent, and that is what matters to me now. But before we actually dive into the tips themselves, we need to realize how the whole scene on VINTED looks today, because for someone who had a little pause with reselling, some things are just different on VINTED now. For example, the photos people are taking today are so much better than what it used to be. Literally a year ago you would see so many bad listings on VINTED, and now when I scroll through VINTED, I feel like I'm like in some online shop. I see photos that are sometimes actually better than what I could take, and people are understanding that using hashtags and properly naming the listings make a great difference. So I can just simply say that the competition is getting bigger every day, and you must also get better every day so you won't be left behind. By the way, if you found this video incredibly interesting, give me a like and subscribe. So before we even try to order our first package for reselling, we need to do some research first, because it's important to protect your budget as much as possible, especially when you don't have much experience. You all can probably think of something that you want to start reselling. It can be limited shoes, clothes, toys, etc. Before you buy it, go on VINTED and search the actual thing, and take some time to check other people's listings. Check for how much is if there isn't too many listings of the thing, and if you are going to be able to price your item a little lower so you can actually sell the item faster. How many items should you buy for the first time? So when you try to order some, let's call it samples, it is wise to buy a sample of each variety that you want to try to resell. So for example, if you want to buy some t-shirts, try different colors, because some colors are going to be sold more than the others. What are some items I don't recommend trying to resell are plushies. If you can get them for free, then I would give it a try, but from my experience, they sell very hard, and also they take up a lot of space, and it can be harder to ship them. Another product that didn't sell well was basic clothing from unknown brands that didn't even look good. People usually go for the brand or for the look, but brand is important, so you'll probably just waste your money if you'll be buying some random basic clothing. There are many people on social media who are trying to sell little wholesale packages with branded, barely used clothes. And from what I saw on the internet, I recommend you to be extremely careful when buying these, because almost everyone who creates videos about these packages and how profitable reselling them is someone who has a website where you can buy these packages. Like almost every time these people, they want you to text them what their vendor is, and then they're going to send you some random links where you can buy the things, but they're going to profit from it. And also, reselling fake clothes is a great trend. I never sold anything that was fake because I just don't want to, but be careful when selling these on VINTED, because you can get banned reselling fakes. So let's say you got your first item and want to list it and see how it works. The title is very important. Try to use as many words as possible, like use the maximum amount of letters, because this is how will someone find your products better. You can experiment with different titles using different keywords. Then the description. I recommend to create one and save it and use it on every listing, and just modify it a little. So you can just create it in your notes app, and then you can like prepare their size, some measures, and just fill it in every listing individually, because the preparation can save you a lot of time. In the end, I will give you one tip, and this preparation can like save you extreme amount of time. And then photos. I'm sure that you already heard this a million times, but the photos are simply the most important thing on the whole listing. If you're, for example, selling clothes, and trust me with this one, the best thing you can do is to take photos of the clothes on your body. Just go right now on VINTED and see it for yourself. The difference between photos of the clothes lying on the floor, for example, and photos taken with the clothes on you is just incomparable. When a girl poses, the clothing looks much better, and it will be much easier for the customer to decide if this certain piece of clothing will suit them well. And then we come to hashtags. The best thing you can do is to prepare as much hashtags in your notes app and then simply copy and paste them into your listings. This is what I do, and it saves me a lot of time. Once I found a guy who had incredible amount of sales, and I was like thinking, oh, what is that guy doing so well? And he was using the same hashtags for every listing, so I simply copied them and put them to my notes app, and till this day I use them on all my listings. And actually the numbers I get with his hashtags are like obviously better. Pricing. Here I am only going to say one thing, and that is when some item is not selling, it doesn't always mean that there is something wrong with the product. It can mean that the price is simply too high. But we all know that feeling when you list something on VINTED and it has like 0 views, and you're starting to feel like you shouldn't have bought the item and you lost money. But this situation has a simple solution, and what I do is that I just relist the listing, delete it and list it again. I do that after a few days with all my listings, and this is what helped me to sell most of my items. Next pro tip is when you're picking the size of the package, always choose the small one, which will result in more sales. Let me explain. When people want to buy your item, they have to pay some money to the delivery company too. And if the size of the package is small, they will have to pay less money. And my last message to you guys would be, reselling is not easy, and it can take some time before you realize what works and what doesn't. And you may lose some money in the process, but trust me, if you keep going and adapting, you will win. Like in the beginning, I wouldn't set my goals. I want to make $500 a month. You know, like after a certain amount of time, you will get into a routine and you will simply see what products go well, what products don't sell good, and you'll simply, like, it will become more easy, more clear. But in the beginning, it's absolutely okay that you're scared, because you probably don't even know how VINTED works in the beginning. So if you have someone who's reselling, ask them. I'm sure a lot of people will be glad to help you, especially in the beginning. Like, I'm sure a lot of people will be glad to help you, and there's like nothing wrong about asking, like, if you see someone who's more experienced, to ask them for some advice. So that was all for this video, and see you in the next one.